Okay. Welcome everybody, welcome. A very, very good morning to you all. It is wonderful to have you all here with us today at the official launch of John Keells Properties' latest real estate project. As you all know, John Keells Properties is Sri Lanka's premier real estate developer, and over the years has transformed Sri Lanka's real estate landscape. And today marks a new chapter for John Keells Properties as we celebrate yet another milestone. We will now proceed to begin the event by playing to you a video on John Keells Properties.
අයිබෝන් සුබ උදෑසනක් ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය දීපල වෙළඳාම් ශේත්‍රයේ ප්‍රමුඛතම සන්නාමය ජෝන් කීල්ස් ප්‍රොපර්ටීස් වෙළඳපොළ හඳුන්වා දෙන නවතම ව්‍යාපෘතිය අද දවසේදී මේ ආකාරයෙන් හඳුන්වා දීමටයි අපි සෝදානම් වන්නේ. ජෝන් කීල්ස් ප්‍රොපර්ටීස් කවදත් නව්‍යකරණයෙන් යුතු ව්‍යාපෘති වෙළඳපොළට හඳුන්වා දී තිබෙනවා. ඉතින් අද දවසේදීත් එවැනිම පෙරලිකාර ව්‍යාපෘතියක් මේ ආකාරයෙන් සමාජගත කරන්නටයි අපි සෝදානම් වන්නේ. අපි වැඩ කටයුතු ආරම්භ කරමින් කෙටි වීඩියෝ පටයක් සෝදානම් කරලා තිබෙනවා ඔබ වෙනුවෙන්. අපි ඒත් සමගින්
அனைவருக்கும் இனிய காலை வணக்கம். உங்கள் அனைவரையும் ஜான் கீல்ஸ் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டீஸின் சமீபத்திய அனைவரும் பேசிக்கொள்ளவிருக்கும் புதிய ஆதன திட்டத்தின் அதிகாரப்பூர்வமான அறிமுக விழாவிற்கு வரவேற்பதில் மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றோம். இன்றைய நாள் இந்த நிறுவனத்துக்கு ஏன் அனைவருக்கும் ஒரு மைல்கல் நிகழ்ச்சியாகும். ஜான் கீல்ஸ் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டீஸ் நிறுவனமானது இலங்கையில் முதன்மையான ரியல் எஸ்டேட் அபிவிருத்தியாளரும் இலங்கையில் இத்துறையினை அதீத வேகத்தில் மாற்றியமைத்து கொண்டு நமது நாட்டினை அபிவிருத்தி பாதையில் அழைத்து செல்கின்றதென்று கூறினால் மிகையாகாது. நாம் அனைவரும் ஜான் கீல்ஸ் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டீஸ் தொடர்பான காணொளி ஒன்றினை சற்று நேரத்தில் காணுவோம்.
When the night has come, when the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, darling, stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh,
the President of the Property Sector of John Keells Holdings, Nayana Mavilmada, to address the gathering.
වෙනනතුරු අප ඉතාමත් ගෞරවයෙන් යුතුව ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා ජෝන් කීල්ස් ප්‍රොපර්ටීස් ආයතනයේ සමූහාධිපති නයන මාවිල්මඩ මහතාට ඔබ සියලු දෙනා ආමන්ත්‍රණය කිරීම වෙනුවෙන්.
தற்பொழுது நான் ஜான் கீல்ஸ் ஹோல்டிங்ஸின் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் பிரிவின் தலைவரான நயன மாவில்மட அவர்களை உரையாற்ற வருமாறு அன்புடன் அழைக்கின்றேன்.
Good morning, everyone. Uh, First of all, thanks to all of you that showed up today to share this moment with us. This is actually, for those of you who know me well, a moment that's very, very close to my heart. Something we've been thinking about, I've been thinking about for maybe a decade. Something my team has been working on for the last couple of years. So it's really kind of a big deal for us to kind of bring something out in this space. You know, the last few years when Sri Lanka was going through rough times, lots of people kind of were just catastrophizing about, look, what's the future of Sri Lanka? But my team at John Keells Properties, we put our heads down and said, look, let's define the next step. Let's put our heads down and really think, what's it going to be? What can we do? How do we respond? And how do we create things out of a sometimes difficult situation? And in our classic style, you know, we have this motto of creating new worlds. We put our heads down, try to understand what's going on, how to respond, how to create something really brand new. And to us, the challenge really is, in this kind of new age of Sri Lanka, what are we missing? You know, what are we trying to do? What do we create that really is something special, something different? So this process kind of led us back to think about what makes happy places, what makes us happy. I personally thought back to my own childhood. I had the privilege of growing up in Kandy, in my ancestral village, and my days were just so easygoing. You know, I used to come back from school, head out, not knowing exactly where I was going, stop by your friends and relatives' houses. You have jambu from my grandmother's tree, ambul pera from my best friend's thing. You ride a slide at my uncle's house, play cricket wherever you can, fly kites whenever you can. And then maybe around 6 o'clock, somebody sends somebody looking for you because nobody really kept tabs. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't really call and say, can I send my son? Can I send my daughter? So the challenge in a way for us is, you know, as we have evolved as a country and as our urban environments are shifting, I feel like we're starting to lose that. And the challenge in a way was, how do you bring that back? And the thought process was, how do you really recapture some of those things that make a Sri Lankan childhood or a Sri Lankan kind of village life special? And how do you bring that to an urban environment? And distilling that down really sometimes takes a lot of introspection, a lot of thought. And if you really think about it, the things that set these communities apart are things like, you know, a very, very intimate relationship with nature, an openness where, you know, now we tend to box ourselves in 6 perch lots, don't send the kids out. But in a more free Sri Lankan childhood, you just kind of let your kids be. And you know, you also work in this sense of community where you're trying to look for safety, not within your house, but trying to create safety within your community. So you just let people out into a broader community and engage with that. There's also kind of a simplicity to life, and there's an embracing of things of our culture, things, you know, bright colors, vibrant kind of spaces, some traditional elements. So we've taken a lot of these things that kind of define Sri Lankanness, if you will, and things that really make happy places, to create something which we think will start to redefine what housing will be in Sri Lanka. And that's the level of ambition we have for this space. And I'm really, really happy to unveil today the first step in that journey. So I'll thank you again for being here. I think there's a lot to talk about, but we will not say it today. Hopefully this story will unfold in the next few weeks and months, but I invite you to learn more about it, more about what we've created. I think we've got something really, truly special, really quite something different, and something that is really true to this ethos of creating new worlds. So I'd like to just maybe unveil today the new brand. Welcome to VIMAN.
I would like to now call upon the Head of Sales and Marketing for the Property Group and Vice President of John Keells Holdings, Nadeem Shams, to address the gathering.
මින් අනතුරු අප ඉතාමත් ගෞරවණීයව ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා ජෝන් කීල්ස් ප්‍රොපර්ටීස් ආයතනයේ විකුණුම් කරන අංශ ප්‍රධානී නදීම් ෂම්ස් මහතාට ඔබ සියලු දෙනා ආමන්ත්‍රණය කිරීම වෙනුවෙන්
அடுத்ததாக ஜான் கீல்ஸ் ஹோல்டிங்ஸின் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் பிரிவின் விற்பனை மற்றும் சந்தைப்படுத்தல் பிரிவின் தலைவரும் ஜான் கீல்ஸ் ஹோல்டிங்ஸின் துணைத் தலைவருமான நதீம் ஷம்ஸ் அவர்களை உரையாற்ற மேடைக்கு அன்புடன் அழைக்கின்றேன்.
Passion, innovation, inspiration, and trust. These are the guiding pillars of John Keells Properties. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nadeem Shams, and I'm the Head of Sales and Marketing for the property sector at John Keells. So as you may know, John Keells Properties has always been at the forefront of innovation and transforming the real estate landscape in Sri Lanka and Colombo, with groundbreaking projects that have even surpassed some of the regional cities as well. So we wanted to kind of really understand, what is the future of real estate and the future landscape of real estate in Sri Lanka. So in order to do that, we had to kind of dive in and do a bit of research in terms of what has happened in the region, looking at global comparators, and what were those kind of transformational shifts that took place in those countries. I mean, one case in point is Malaysia, and if you look at Kuala Lumpur. And Kuala Lumpur, of course, there were certain abandoned, rubber plantations in certain areas, which today have become one of the best residential living spaces in the city. Now, why did that happen? Of course, they had economic advancement, but you also had a fundamental shift in terms of infrastructure and transportation links improving. And that's why these spaces and the real estate landscape really grew in countries like Malaysia. So what does the future hold for Sri Lanka? And where do we see this kind of transformational shift happening in Sri Lanka? I mean, we really see this happening towards the north of Colombo. And why do I say north of Colombo? As you may know, there is a port access highway currently being constructed, which is slated for completion next year. And that's going to connect the heart of Colombo to the heart of the north of Colombo towards Jayala within 25 to 30 minutes door to door. And that is really going to transform the whole real estate landscape towards the north of Colombo. And hence the reason where the first VIMAN projects of many projects to come will be located in Jayala. Now, in terms of the product, we've given you most of the details in the handout that you've got, so I'm not going to go into too much of details there, but just want to touch a little bit on VIMAN. So VIMAN is a place for everyone. VIMAN is your happy place. And we really kind of focused on, the lush greenery of the location. We have a central garden with a plethora of activities within that, in addition to the kind of standard bells and whistles that you'd get in any development. So really also focusing on the sustainability side. So all our homes will be solar powered as well, so which means you'll get a big chunk of your bill wiped out as well. And like Nayana explained, we want this project to be authentic, authentically Sri Lankan, bringing that Sri Lankan heritage into this development and into this small town of Jayala. And, I'm not going to get into too much of details on the specifics of the layouts and things. We'll be happy to have a discussion one-on-one with you. But just want to give you an overview that this project is spread across 6 acres of land in the heart of the Negombo-Jayala Road in the city of Jayala. And we have a total of 418 apartments that will come up here. So in terms of the value and offering, I mean, it's an unbeatable price and offering. We might regret it later, but I think that's really a duty of a responsible developer. How do you create that value and give customers that upside in the real estate space? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here today and joining us on this journey on creating new worlds and really reshaping the real estate landscape of Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Now move on to the launching of the website. I would like to call upon Nayana Mawil Madha, President of the Property Sector of John Keells Holdings, and Shafika Gunasekara, Head of Marketing for the Property Sector at John Keells Holdings, to officially launch the VIMAN website.
මින් අනතුරු අපි විමාන් ව්‍යාපෘතියේ නිල වෙබ් අඩවිය ඩිජිටල් අවකාශයට මුසු කිරීමට සූදානම්. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් අපි ඉතාමත් ගෞරවණීයව ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා John Keells Properties සමූහාධිපති නායන මාවිල්මඩ මහතාට සහ John Keells Properties අලෙවිකරණ ප්‍රධානී ஷாஃபிகா குணசேகர மகாத்மிයට.
நாம் தற்பொழுது வலைத்தளத்தின் ஆரம்பத்துக்கு செல்வோம். விமான் வலைத்தள உத்தியோகபூர்வமாக ஆரம்பித்து வைக்க ஜான் கீல்ஸ் ஹோல்டிங்ஸின் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் பிரிவின் தலைவரான நாயன மாவில்மட அவர்களையும் சந்தைப்படுத்தல் பிரிவின் தலைவரான ஷஃபீகா குணசேகர் அவர்களையும் மேடைக்கு அன்புடன் அழைக்கின்றோம்.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to have the first view of the new VIMAN website. Please take out your phones and you can scan the QR code to have the first preview.
That's all we've got, folks. You're going to have to talk to us, learn more about what we've got. We've been cooking this up for quite some time. We're very, very excited if you haven't caught on to that yet. And I think we're really going to change this game fundamentally. Thank you again for joining us.
And that brings us to the end of today's event, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us. Please do help yourself to some refreshments and have a great day.
හොඳයි. ඒත් සමගින් අද දවසේ වැඩ කටයුතු නිමා කරන්න අපි සූදානම්. මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය නියත වශයෙන්ම ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය දේපළ වෙළඳාම් වෙළඳපොළට පෙරලිකාර ව්‍යාපෘතියක් වන බවට නොඅනුමානයි. අපි ආරාධනා කරනවා සියලු දෙනාටම එකතු වන්න අපිත් සමගින් මේ ගමන් මගට.
அதுவே இன்றைய நாள் முடிவை எமக்கு கொண்டு வருகிறது. இன்றைய இந்த இனிய நாளில் எம்முடன் இணைந்து கொண்ட அனைத்து உள்ளங்களுக்கும் மிக்க நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு அனைவருக்கும் இந்த நாள் இனிய நாளாக அமைய வாழ்த்துகிறோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.